Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Y'all, let's have some fun. Stay tuned. So guys, we are still crafting with greeting cards. And I've had a couple of comments about how in the world can so many boxes be made from a pack of greeting cards. And really guys, the number of boxes that we can make are only limited by our imagination. And today we're going to make another box, and you'll be surprised at what we can do with a simple box of greeting cards. And here we go. This box is made with one of the 9 1/4 by 3 3/4 inch cards that I got from Old Time Pottery. And what I've done with this particular card is turned it into a slider box. Isn't that just fabulous? A nice 8 1/2 inch by 2 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch slider box. This is perfect for holding all types of goodies. Makes a wonderful, wonderful stocking stuffer, Secret Santa gift. But more importantly than that, look at how gorgeous this is. This has truly turned out to be one of my favorite cards. Oh my goodness, guys. This old Father Christmas, he has really grabbed my heart. I absolutely love looking at this card and the glitter work that they've got on it. It is just fabulous. We're going to make another slider box today, but this one will be made using the snowman card. And we will be using the one that begins with the measurement of 9 1/4 by 3 3/4. And then we'll do some tweaking to this measurement. But I just wanted to let you guys know that stay tuned tomorrow, because we are going to be using our 5 by 7 cards to make slider boxes. Today we're going to use the long skinny ones. Tomorrow, we will be using the 5 by 7s to make some gorgeous, gorgeous slider boxes. So let's get started on this. And like I said, we'll be starting with the card that measures 9 1/4 by 3 3/4 to begin with. And then what I've done with this card is I have trimmed it down and reduced it from 9 1/4 to 9. So the first thing that I want to do with this card is I am going to open it up, and all of the scoring that I'm going to do is going to be very light and very gentle scoring, and that will help with some of the cracking that some of you might be experiencing. I haven't had that, but I've gotten quite a few comments, so let's go with a much lighter score, and that might help. Okay, so let's place our card in our scoring tool, and we're going to score this at 1/4 of an inch. Using a very light touch. Let's rotate it to the opposite end, and we're going to score it again at 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to turn it back to its natural position. And you can see here that I've got my fold point. To make it easier to figure out where to position this, we're simply going to take this fold point and slide it over to a hole mark. So if your scoreboard goes from left to right, you can slide it over. Mine goes from right to left, so I'm going to slide this over to this hole 4, because I now want to score this 3/4 of an inch away from the 4. So I'm looking for a true 3/4. So I've got it in at 4. And now I'm scoring at 4 3/4. And that will give me a height to my box of 3/4 of an inch. So now that I've got this in place, all I'm going to do, and I'm going to go very slowly here because I think this confused some of you guys the other day. So I've made this mark here at my 4 3/4 inch point. Now all I'm going to do is take this card, rotate it, turn it upside down so that the score mark that I just made is now on the opposite end. And I am going to take that score mark and move it over to my 2 3/4 inch point on my scoreboard. Wherever that is on yours, whether it's on the left or the right, we need for this mark to be at 2 3/4 inch, because then we are going to come back and we need to shave off the excess. So I am going to remove my excess piece here. And I'm removing this because one side of this slider box has to be smaller than the other side in order for me to be able to fold it into a box. So basically what I'm doing, when you take this and we score it and fold our score, this panel here is 2 3/4 inch wide because we removed this much. So hopefully this is making sense. All right, so now that we've got this part shaved off, we're going to place it back in the scoreboard with the shaved part facing away from us. Now that we have removed a portion of this and we're left with a panel that is 2 3/4 inch wide, we need to come back to the natural fold point of our card, and we are going to take that fold point and position it at 2 3/4. Then what I'll be able to do is I will come back with my scoring bone folder, and I am simply going to do a very gentle score. And then I want to take this score and I am going to slide it over to 3/4 inch, come back with my bone folder and do another score. And this score gives me my glue flap. So hopefully that made sense to you guys, because I can't think of a simpler way to explain it. If you simply follow along with what I'm doing, it'll all make sense when you have your card positioned in the scoreboard and you move it and you turn it just as I'm doing. So now we can take our scoreboard and put it away for a moment, because we won't need it until we're ready to make the actual box. And we're going to come back and we are going to very lightly fold our scores. And we're going to do it this way because if some of you are experiencing cracking, this might help with that. So we're not going to do any really deep burnishing except for on the glue line when we get to that point. So we're going to fold everything just like this. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to come back, and on this very narrow strip here, there is a corner piece at the bottom and a corner piece at the top that we need to remove all together. And then I'll remove this one. And this gives us our glue tab. This is where we'll place the glue to put the box together. But at the top and the bottom, where we made those 1/4 inch score marks, this is where we're going to fold over just to finish our box off very nicely. And what I'm going to do is everywhere that I have got a score joint, I am going to come back and simply notch out and create tabs. I have a score mark right here. So I am going to notch out on both sides of that score mark and create a little V. And let me see if I have any more score marks up here. I do. So then I have a score mark right here. And I am going to come back and I'll just notch out on both sides of that. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I am going to place glue on all of these tabs and fold them over. And this is just going to give me a nice little finish to the outer edge of my box. So I'm going to get all of these folded over, and I'll go over them with my bone folder. Come back with my paper towel and I'm going to clean up any excess glue. And now I'll get these nice and stuck. And on this part, you're going to want to make sure that if you do decide to fold these over, you need to make sure you have them completely stuck down so that it will not interfere with your box sliding in and out. Hold it this way, you can see that I no longer have any rough edges showing. And now I'm going to flip this and do the same thing on this end, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I have got both my top and my bottom folded over and glued down, and we have a nice professional finish to our box edges, which is exactly what we want. We really don't want to give a gift that has raw, ugly edges on it. So what I'm going to do now is fold over my glue flap, and I am going to place glue on this. And we're going to come back and close our beautiful little slider box. And all I'll be doing is matching up the top and the bottom, and then just making sure that my sides are nice and straight. And then once everything is where I need for it to be, I am going to come back, go in with my bone folder, and get everything nice and stuck down. And I want to make sure that my glue flap is nice and flat on the inside so that it will not stick up and interfere with me sliding my little box in and out. So there, we have got the shell of our slider box, and now we can make the box. Okay guys, to make our box, we're going to start with the piece that measures 5 1/4 by 11, and we will be scoring that at 5/8 and 1 1/4 on all 4 sides. And then we are going to fold and burnish our scores. And then once we have our scores folded and burnished, we are going to have 2 corner pieces that we will need to remove on all 4 sides of this beautiful chocolate paper. So what I'm going to do is just cut in, remove that, and then I'll go up to the second score mark, cut straight down, and then I'm going to angle in to free up that tab. I'll come over to the other side and do the same thing. Go up to the second score, angle cut in, and then angle cut in again, and remove this tab. So I'll do the others off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so once we have all of our tabs cut, we are ready to put this beautiful box together. And all I'm going to do is fold my tabs inward so that I can place some glue. And then I will just match up end to end. And what I'm looking for is a nice crisp edge. Don't want any hangover. I'll come back with my bone folder and get that tab stuck down. I'll come in on the other side and do the same thing. Just get it matched up. Come in with my bone folder and get that tab stuck down. And now I'll come over to the opposite end, do the same thing, and I'll be right back. Okay, so once we have our box put together, we have these outer flaps. And as you guys see me do all of the time, I'm simply going to take some glue, place it on the outer flaps, fold them in, and then I'll come back with my bone folder, and let's get that stuck down, and we'll have a nice, wonderful edge to our box. So I'll do this on all 4 sides. All right, guys, so our box is all put together. Now let's go ahead and test it out to make sure that it's going to fit inside of this wonderful slider shell that we created. And it does. everything looks great on this. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So in order to make it easy for us to slide the box in and out, what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of glue, place it on the bottom, and then I'm going to place a piece of ribbon, which will act as just a little grabbing point for whoever gets this, so that they can open their new slider without running into any problems. So I'm going to slide this back in, and you'll see that when the box is completely put together, you've got that little piece sticking out. So I'm going to slide that out just a little bit so you can see this wonderful slider box. And I am going to bring the other one back in, and you can see how gorgeous that one is as well. I absolutely love these. And now we have another way that we can use our greeting cards to make packaging. And this is perfect for putting little candies in, jewelry, pencils, pens, whatever you want to put in here. This is absolutely perfect for that. And you know what makes it even better? You made it. So, guys, I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.